Hi, folks. I'm Pete Nzana, Director of Product Management here at Oracle, covering our Oracle GoldenGate offerings. Thanks for joining this Oracle Database World session, an intro to Oracle GoldenGate 21C, Innovations for Data in Motion. Here's a look at the agenda of what I'll be sharing with you today. So let's get into a little bit of background on Oracle GoldenGate. Oracle GoldenGate's been a long-time leader for the most demanding operational data integration and analytic data engineering use cases on the planet. With thousands of customers in more than 180 countries, GoldenGate's award-winning technology is continually rated as a leader for real-time data, data fabric, and data mesh capabilities. In fact, if you've done any shopping today, used a credit card, or logged into a work application, you've probably used GoldenGate without even knowing it. Customers running mission-critical cloud and multi-cloud data solutions need the highest levels of business continuity for data availability with no downtime migrations. Customers require continuously flowing data that can go from ground to cloud, cloud to multi-cloud without inefficient batch processing. And for analytics, customers demand timely insights on data in memory, in a data stream, in a data warehouse, or a data lake. GoldenGate customers are some of the most technology diverse in the world. Our customers depend on GoldenGate for their entire data estate, and it's critical that the GoldenGate technology support all the most common data sources, multi-cloud vendors, and a vast array of big data and streaming data technologies. It's the commitment to a diverse data ecosystem that makes GoldenGate the ideal solution for a modern data fabric. GoldenGate's used for all kinds of solutions. Most commonly, GoldenGate's used for database replication, including that for use cases that keep data highly available, replicating valuable data transactions, or for real-time loading of data warehouses. But more recently, very popular use cases for GoldenGate include customers who use it to help with ingesting data into data lakes, data transformation and streaming pipelines, time series analytics on streaming data, as well as for alerting on real-time data events. GoldenGate's an end-to-end platform for working with all sorts of fast data. So now let's get into data mesh. The Oracle approach is to provide a data fabric that is dynamic, and within that dynamic data fabric, a data mesh that is trusted. An overall theme in the new generation of data mesh is to focus first on business outcomes, including data product thinking, which means starting data management planning by first thinking about the concrete value of your data assets, how the data supply chains flow, and what kind of technologies you'll invest upon in your data factories. From a technology perspective, there are three fundamental attributes of a data mesh. The entire architecture is designed to work in a decentralized multi-cloud environment. The architecture of the future will inherently need to support many clouds and not just one data center. Integration is done via event ledgers, such as GoldenGate Trails or Kafka Topics, rather than by SQL views or data projections. Polyglot streams means that your data streaming payloads can be fully consistent, ACID compliant, for example, or decoupled, as with Avro, JSON, and XML payloads. This provides the flexibility to support all types of integration patterns. Normally, IT people would read a diagram like this from left to right, focusing first on the sources of data, how the data is processed, and then finally where the data is delivered. But a data product thinking approach will start on the right-hand side by first identifying the value and the purpose of the data that's to be delivered. For example, the GoldenGate streaming platform is capable of directly delivering high-value data, such as self-service data pipelines, time series analytics, real-time analytic dashboards, streaming data services for payloads like JSON, Avro, or relational data, with alerting engine and a way to prioritize ML AI scoring into real-time events. All of our largest customers also use other non-Oracle tools for data products. These could be analytics, data lakes, search tools, or even graph engines. Golden Gate can be used to continuously stream data into these non-Oracle tools and non-Oracle clouds. This makes Golden Gate a true enterprise class tool by directly providing high-value data products as well as integrating data to other data product tools. So now let's get into a few relevant example customer cases where Golden Gate is used for a data mesh. Here we see how this Fortune 10 company's customers' use of Golden Gate has evolved and expanded over the years. Initially, their usage had been homogeneous, just replicating between Oracle database sources and targets, and that was for HADR, thusly achieving the 5 nines of availability for business continuity. Next, they added heterogeneous replication for real-time feeds to multiple targets for staging, like in an ODS, ETL, data science, and data analytics. Subsequent expansion included streaming data to and through Kafka, serving data to various lines of business. And then the usage evolved even further into a distributed transactional mesh for the payment engine. Wells Fargo is another great example case of a customer's evolving, expanding use of Golden Gate that's led and fed into a data mesh. They've taken full advantage of Golden Gate's distributed multi-services architecture for more efficient operational and analytical workloads, while achieving business continuity, again through planned and unplanned downtimes per 5 nines of availability with Golden Gate as part of Oracle's maximum availability architecture. Wells Fargo is also feeding analytical targets in real time and incorporating Kafka for data product distribution and consumption. Through this Golden Gate-enabled data mesh, the outcome for Wells Fargo are better, faster business decisions and actions. Here's an example, rather cool one. It's leveraging Oracle Golden Gate for both data replication and stream analytics. Oracle's Roving Edge is a rugged edge-of-network box for hostile DoD-type environments. It provides edge computing for military or commercial use cases outside of the data center. Within Roving Edge, Golden Gate provides not only real-time event replication, but also MSET-based time series streaming analytics. Now let's talk about what's new in the latest Golden Gate releases. First, some important takeaways about Golden Gate releases. Golden Gate is a highly strategic Oracle offering and will continue to support and expand upon heterogeneous use cases, including non-Oracle databases and clouds. As a long-term support release, Golden Gate 19C will remain in Premier Extended support through 2026. And if you haven't transitioned already, it's time to start planning or moving to the newer microservices architecture, as the classic architecture in Golden Gate is deprecated as of version 21C. What this deprecation means is that the classic architecture is still there, still included and supported within 21C, but it may be removed from subsequent releases. And new enhancement requests for the classic architecture are not likely to be addressed, as our strategy and investment are now more focused on the microservices architecture. In this high-level view and partial list of new capabilities we've introduced per Golden Gate releases, some common themes to note are the aligned release support dates with the latest Oracle database versions, and the continuous addition of new and different sources and targets. I'll again highlight the importance of our microservices architecture, which is now, as of 21C, supported not only for Oracle databases, but for non-Oracle, and for big data sources and targets as well. The microservices architecture has advantages, including improved security on trail file distribution by utilizing TLS, service authentication and authorization. There's a user-friendly web UI interface for Golden Gate admin and operators with reduced learning curve, and easy deployment for a first-time user. Machine-friendly REST API endpoints for automatic monitoring and management on large-scale deployments. And the microservices architecture also really enables easy patching and upgrades too. And here's a look at what we'd introduced via GoldenGate 19c. This includes support for Oracle Database 19c, a long-term support release, and the final patch set update for Oracle GoldenGate 12.3. There are also security and manageability enhancements for the microservices architecture, integrations with key management systems, support for DMZ environments with defaults changed to TLS 1.2, digest authorization, strong password verifier managed profiles for auto start, auto restart, and key management. Plus, there's performance and scalability improvements, like better performance and scalability for parallel replicats. And remote integrated capture performance tolerates high latency networks now. For ease of use, 19C's simplified software upgrade procedures, enhanced heartbeats to simplify system recovery. Mid-tier and cloud deployments have been simplified with remote cross-endian integrated extract, and a new, better smart defaults eliminate the need to set parameters for a lot of common use cases. GoldenGate 19c is also available from the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Marketplace in both classic and microservice editions. This too supports cross-endian remote integrated extract to allow more remote capture of all on-premises Oracle databases for easier migration to the cloud. For non-Oracle sources and targets, 19c introduced security enhancements, like for MySQL, two-way SSL support, SQL Server automatic TLS 1.2 detection, DB2 key encryption, support for wallets, and AES. And there's also new platform certifications, like MySQL 8.0, MariaDB 10.2 and 10.3, SQL Server 2017, delivered at Azure SQL Database, delivered at times 10, version 18c, classic and scale-out architectures, DB2 I series and Z series 12.1 support is included. Plus, there's new performance and flexibility enhancements for SQL Server. There's translong options and transcount, improved memory management for SQL Server. You can install GoldenGate on Linux. For DB2 I series, there's translong option, buff size that's been added, and some DB2 feature enhancements included in 19c. There's online schema change tracking, enhanced timestamp support, management for long-running transactions for all DB2 platforms, and that spans LUW, I, and Z series. You have show trans, skip trans, force trans, deck float, data type support for all DB2 platforms, again for DB2 LUW, DB2 I, and DB2 Z. And some of the SQL Server enhancements include object versioning. GoldenGate objects for capture have now internal version, checked by extract at startup. Re-add tran data to upgrade from GoldenGate 12.3 to 19.1. Heartbeat, target only, creates a GoldenGate heartbeat table. And this is a feature specific to target only DBs. Trans data file group creates CDC staging tables on specified DB2 file groups, and SQL Server ODBC driver support's been added. ODBC 11, 13, 17, and SQL native client support for backwards compatibility also added for SQL Server. And there's even more new capabilities in 19c in and around big data targets. And just released this past March is the new OCI Golden Gate as a fully native Oracle managed cloud service for all real-time data integration use cases, covering operational and analytical data engineering solutions. The service runs on the latest GoldenGate 21c microservices architecture, which allows for a global mesh of connected data resources. With a single click, developers and DBAs can set the service for 3x auto scale, providing a scalable way to start small and grow as workloads increase. All Oracle databases, 11.204 and higher, running anywhere, including on other clouds or on-premise, are fully supported. Non-Oracle databases and big data open source technology support will be phased in during the rest of this year. And here's a partial, high-level look at what's brand new, just released in GoldenGate 21C, also known as 21.3.0. All database heartbeat target only is supported for heterogeneous database targets. Parallel replicat is supported for heterogeneous databases. Integration with external identity management, IDM systems, including OpenID and OAuth 2.0. For DB2LUW, capture and delivery for DB2LUW 11.5 supported. For DB2 I-Series, remote capture and delivery is now supported as of 21C. IBM I-Series version 7.4 support has been added. For MySQL, the MySQL database service, MDS, the remote capture and delivery is supported. For PostgreSQL, our microservices architecture now newly supports Postgres. And Postgres 13 is supported. An Oracle native JSON data type is supported for Postgres compatibility as well. So now let's dive a little bit deeper into some specific new capabilities. Now in 21C, a single install of GoldenGate for Oracle supports multiple source and target Oracle versions, including our autonomous databases. This greatly simplifies things for deployments, patches, and upgrade for on-premises and in cloud. Also available in 21C, the GoldenGate microservices architecture has a single web-based UI for console and deployment. The microservices architecture is available not only with GoldenGate for Oracle, but also for heterogeneous databases, including Oracle 21C, DB2 for Xeos, MySQL, and SQL Server. And now come 21C, there's across-the-board performance improvements for heterogeneous replication, regardless of whether your targets are Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, MySQL, Teradata, etc. Parallel replicat is supported for faster feeds. Also new in 21C, certificate management is available from microservices architecture web UI. Server certificates and multiple client certificates can be managed from the servicer manager. Each deployment has a certificate store that holds the server, client certificates, and CA certificates, which are used when setting up secure communication channels for a deployment. Support for multiple client certificates via WSS protocol is available. You can store multiple client certificates in the certificate store and explicitly specify the type of authentication mechanism for the distribution paths and the target initiated paths as part of the specification. You can select one of those three authentication mechanisms, credentials, client certificates, or OAuth 2.0, which is available with Oracle GoldenGate 21.3.0. If you choose the client certificate authentication mechanism, then you can choose a specific client certificate. Well, that was a quick run through of just a few of the great new GoldenGate capabilities recently released. You can learn a lot more about all the latest while also digging a lot deeper into using GoldenGate for building a real-time data mesh by using these useful links. Thanks again for your time.